You probably know someone who has changed. A brother, a friend, a son. Over the past few years, a quiet, almost invisible epidemic has swept through the internet, fundamentally altering the minds of millions. They spend hours alone in their rooms, their faces glowing under the cold blue light of a screen. Slowly, their vocabulary begins to shift. They start talking about the matrix, about being high value, about alpha mentalities, hypergamy, and the red pill. To the outside world, to parents and peers, it looks like a sudden cultural shift, a bizarre and deeply confusing internet phase. But it is not a phase, and it is definitely not an accident. What you are witnessing in real time is the result of a multi-million-dollar psychological operation, an operation precision engineered to weaponize male loneliness. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the dark side of the manosphere. To understand how a human mind is captured, you have to look at the bait. In 2019, a fundamental shift occurred in the architecture of social media algorithms. Engineers across the world realized that anger, resentment, and controversy were the highest converting currencies on Earth. The algorithm did not care about your well-being, it cared strictly for your watch time. Enter the manosphere. But here's the terrifying part of the trap. It almost never starts dark. It starts with a simple, universally noble concept. Get to the gym, build discipline, fix your posture, become a better, stronger man. For millions of young men feeling lost, invisible, and discarded by modern society, this content was a desperately needed lifeline. The modern world has quietly erased traditional communities, leaving a generation of young men without mentors, without purpose, and without a clear path forward. This digital space became the father figure they never had. Let us look at Kale. Kale is not one specific person. He's a ghost in the machine, an avatar representing millions of young men searching for identity today. Kale opens his phone and searches for beginner workout routines to build muscle. The algorithm takes meticulous note of his demographic, his watch time, his hesitation on certain thumbnails, and his late-night browsing habits. The next day, he's recommended highly produced videos on building unbreakable confidence. A week later, the content shifts, but so subtly that Kale doesn't even notice the ground moving beneath his feet. It is no longer just about improving himself. The videos slowly start explaining why he is failing, and more importantly, whose fault it is. This is the funnel. You come for the fitness advice, but you stay for the outrage. The psychology behind this slow, invisible radicalization is absolutely flawless. When a young man is socially isolated, feeling entirely unseen by the world around him, his brain intensely craves two very specific things: validation for his deep internal pain and an external enemy to blame it on. The modern internet guru provides both of these elements on a silver platter. They manufacture the insecurity, they validate the resulting anger, and then, right on cue, they sell the cure. This brings us to the architects of the ideology, men like Vance. Vance is a faceless archetype of the modern internet influencer. He sits behind a heavy studio microphone, puffing an expensive cigar, wearing a dark designer suit, surrounded by rented supercars and artificial glamour. He preaches a brutal, unforgiving hierarchy of the world. He looks directly into the camera lens and tells his deeply vulnerable audience that the world is entirely against them, that society is completely rigged in favor of others, and that the only way to survive the modern age is to become utterly ruthless. He tells them empathy is weakness. But behind the bravado, behind the tinted sunglasses and the aggressive posture, Vance is running a deeply calculated, highly cynical business. He does not care about saving men. He cares about metrics, retention rates, and conversion rates. The Manosphere is not a genuine social movement. It is a highly optimized engagement farming factory, and the monetization strategy is brutally aggressive. Once the viewer is sufficiently angry, paranoid, and isolated from their real-world friends and family, the invisible paywall appears, a $49 a month subscription to a private Discord server where they can talk to other enlightened men, a $1,000 masterclass on becoming an alpha and escaping the matrix, a drop-shipping course promised to break them out of the financial system. It's a modern-day pyramid scheme wrapped in self-help packaging. They're selling water to people they deliberately set on fire. The followers become unpaid digital soldiers, clipping Vance's most outrageous quotes and posting them on secondary accounts, flooding the internet with his face, driving more vulnerable boys back into the funnel. It's a self-sustaining loop of psychological exploitation. For years, the general public believed that these influencers were simply sharing their authentic, albeit extreme, worldviews. They thought these men were dangerous ideologues, but leaked messages, background conversations, and whistleblowers from within these organizations have revealed a chilling, far more sinister reality. This brings us to the twist that the algorithm desperately tries to hide from you. The men selling this ideology don't even believe what they preach. It's a meticulously crafted script. In private boardroom meetings, many of these highly vocal gurus laugh at the very audience they claim to protect. They track retention metrics strictly based on outrage spikes. They intentionally script highly controversial, deeply offensive statements about gender dynamics simply because they know it will generate thousands of angry comments from opponents, effectively weaponizing the hatred to push their video further into the algorithm. It's professional wrestling, but the audience doesn't know it's fake. The gender war that dominates comment sections, the arguments tearing relationships apart in the real world, is largely manufactured in a corporate boardroom by men looking at profit margins. It's a digital conflict designed entirely to keep you endlessly scrolling. But while the conflict is manufactured, the true damage it leaves behind is incredibly real. The true victims of this engineered system are not just the targets of their scripted rage. The victims are the boys themselves. The very men who sought out self-improvement find themselves paranoid, chronically online, and fundamentally unable to form genuine human connections. They're trapped in a dark digital echo chamber that convinces them the world is cold, transactional, and calculated, which ironically blinds them to actual human warmth. They push away their closest friends. They alienate family members at the dinner table. They view every single human interaction as a strategic power struggle. By trying to become invincible, they become completely, tragically isolated. And the ultimate tragedy is that the profound loneliness they were trying to escape in the first place has only been multiplied by the algorithm that promised to cure it. The house always wins, and in this casino, the currency being gambled away is a generation's mental health. As this digital divide spills out of the glowing screens into our schools, our workplaces, and our homes, we have to pause and ask ourselves a critical question. Who is really profiting from our division? The next time you see a video designed specifically to make you furious at another group of people, look past the screen. Look for the spreadsheet. Before you let a manufactured algorithm dictate your reality and shape your worldview, step outside, disconnect from the machine, reclaim your mind. If this documentary opened your eyes to the invisible strings pulling the internet, don't let it end here. Subscribe to the channel, share this video with someone who desperately needs to hear the truth, and above all, question everything you watch.